Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video, and if you like the content I'm putting out, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your friends. So this is going to be part 2 of the new You Want to Buy a Gun, You're a New Gun Owner series. So in part 2, we're going to go over, you already know you want a gun. Why do you want the gun? Is it for self-defense? Is it for hunting? Is it for like competition? Chances are, if you're a new gun owner, well, I'm not going to assume anything about you, but you need to identify what it is, because that's going to help define which gun is best for your circumstance. If you're wanting a gun for to carry with you for personal protection, that's going to lend itself more towards one type of firearm than if you're wanting to go moose hunting. You're not going to carry the same firearm for both of those situations. So that's your next piece of homework. You need to identify, what do you want to do. If you're just wanting to go to the range and plink, shoot paper, punch holes in paper, do you want to protect yourself and your family? Do you want to go hunting, put some meat in the freezer? What is your end goal for this? Now, some things have crossover. Like I have a Tavor 7, which is a 308 kind of a battle rifle, 7.62 by 51 or 308. It'll shoot both of those. They're pretty much the exact same thing. One's a NATO definition, one's a hunting caliber. It'll shoot both of them, and you could use it for self-defense, or if you're in some sort of zombie apocalypse, whatever scenario you imagine being in, you could use it for that. I hunted a caribou with it, just as kind of a proof of concept that it would work for that, and also I needed to justify getting it, so I took it and did that. If I were to go caribou hunting again, I would probably take a lighter gun. It'll get the job done. It's not the lightest or easiest to hump around with you if you're out in the woods. I'm getting off track. Why do you want the gun? So we've kind of gone over hunting rifles, or let's just go down. If you want like a hunting rifle or a hunting caliber, you need to look into that. What kind of game you're going for? Are there restrictions on calibers you can use for that particular game? A lot of areas will have it so it's illegal to use too small of a caliber or too light of a caliber. So you're not going to want to go, like, you can't go moose hunting with 223 or 556. Those are they're very similar calibers, but one's a civilian hunting round, one's a military use round. So what game are you going for? If you're going for larger game, you're going to want something, bigger, 308, 30-06, 300 Win Mag, 300 Ultra Mag. And then there's a bunch more, 7mm, 8mm. Some you also don't want it too big. If you're going after kind of small or medium-sized deer, you don't want to be using an elephant gun. So that's something that you're going to have to research. Are there restrictions on what you can use, what you can't use, and what's going to get the job done effectively, efficiently, without destroying too much of the meat, and also not getting the job done in the first shot and the animal suffers or runs off injured and you don't get the animal. Is your use case carrying? You want a gun to carry on your person when you go about your day-to-day for personal self-defense and to defend your family. If that's the case, you're not going to want a big hunting rifle or rifle in general. You're probably going to want a handgun. Have you shot a gun before? going to a range. Some gun stores will have ranges where you can rent firearms and try out different ones. I would recommend, even before you get to that step, going to the gun store, looking at the ones they have available, and handling them. A lot of times, at least the gun stores that I frequent, Sportsman's, Cabela's, Bass Pro, as well as local smaller businesses like Arctic Ammo or gun shows, they will either ask you if you'd like to see something out of the case, or if it's at a gun show or it's just out on the counter, it's polite to ask if you could pick it up before you just start touching everything. But you should be able to handle the firearm. See what feels good in your hand. If it's a semi-automatic, see if you could use the slide. If you're a woman or elderly and you're losing hand strength, or you're petite, you're not that strong to begin with, that's something to consider. I had a friend who was looking for his wife, and she's a very small, petite woman. And there's been times whenever I go in, I think there was like a 1911, some Kimber 1911. I wanted to look at it. I looked at it, and I went to rack the slide, and that thing was so stiff. Like with my old 1911 that I have in the safe, that thing's so broke in, easy peasy. This thing, I went to do it, couldn't do it, and I had to really put some intention and effort into it. So if it's hard for me, I'm 6'1", 230 pounds, some little tiny 90-pound woman might not be able to do it at all. So that's something to consider. Handle the guns, see if you can manipulate the slide, see if you could do the manual of arms there. Now, if you're brand new to guns, this might not be natural to you, but practice gun safety. That's part of learning your local laws, but you should know the 4 rules of gun safety. And one of those rules is don't point the gun at anything that you don't want to destroy. And the other one is always treat the gun as if it's loaded. Know what's behind, what your target is and what's behind it. And so if you're handling a gun at a gun store, don't don't point it at the guy who just handed it to you. Don't point it at other customers. Don't point it at yourself. If you want to check the sights and aim in a direction where nobody's at. But I would recommend handling guns. A lot of times at gun stores, if you're a woman and you come in asking questions, they're going to want to point you towards a revolver. Is that the right gun for you? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you want something with more capacity. Maybe you want there's all sorts of reasons. I mean, maybe it's good for you, maybe it's not. I have revolvers and I have semi-automatics. So if you like it, great. If you don't like it, don't get pushed into buying something because that's what they want to sell to you. Try the stuff out. Once you find some that feel good in your hand, if you can, go to a place that can rent and shoot it there. You could also take beginner gun classes that go over, how to do the manual of arms. The manual of arms means how to manipulate the gun, how to get it to do what you want to do. How do you drop the magazine? How do you chamber a round? How do you take it apart to clean it? All that sort of stuff. So that's something that you should look into. The other thing is, if you have a friend that has guns or a gun collection, or your dad, your brother, your relative, somebody who is into this sort of stuff, they can be a resource too. Maybe go out shooting with them and try out some of their stuff. If there's one of theirs that you like, then you have a data point that you could reference whenever you're shopping for yourself. if your end use is some sort of like why you want the gun, just because is a good enough reason. If you're wanting to collect, great, more power to you. You should still follow the gun safety rules. You should still be able to handle it safely. I still think you should, take it out and shoot it, know how to shoot it, know how to operate it properly. But knowing why you're getting the gun. Like, I have all the guns I need. All the guns I get now are guns I want. So this sort of stuff doesn't apply to me. I do like to have a use case if I'm going to buy a new gun, but sometimes that use case is it has a feature that I like. Like, I've been thinking about getting a Walther PDP match because it has I've dry fired it at the gun store. I went and held it. I tested the trigger, tried it all out, and it has a really smooth trigger for a striker fired gun. I would like to have one of those to take it out and shoot it and see what I think about it. It's kind of expensive, the steel frame one is, so I haven't done it yet. But if you're brand new to a gun, or maybe you only want to buy one gun, and you're not a collector, you're not an enthusiast, then you should know why you want it, what you want it for, and have that in mind. Have a purpose. You need to hammer some nails, you need a hammer. Screwdriver's not going to do you any good. So keep that in mind. So that's your next piece of homework. Why do you want the gun? What is the purpose you want it for? If it's for self-defense, what caliber do you want? If it's for hunting, what caliber do you want? What are you going to be hunting? If it's for the zombie apocalypse, is capacity an issue? Do you want a double barrel shotgun? We don't know. You have to think about that for yourself. Hope that helps.